Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to another movie review. Alright, moving on. Now this time I decided to do time to review another horror film that was made in the year 2000, and which is now become a franchise. And this is the first one of the franchise that I always liked. You know, of course, most times first interest in a franchise is always the best, but that's not always true though. But to me it is. But now I'm viewing Final Destination. Final Destination is, like I said, a horror film that was made in the year 2000. Directed by James Wong, who directed the first film. Then he directed the third Final Destination film. Then he directed the film called The One with Jet Li. And then he also directed Dragon Ball Evolution, which I've never seen and I don't want to, you know, because I'm not a fan of Dragon Ball, you know. So, but he directed the first Final Destination, and I liked the film because, you know, I thought it was like a very creative way, you know, how the story turns out, you know. And which I'll get to, I'll get to in a minute. But the film stars a lead here, played by Devon Sawa, or how his last name is pronounced. I haven't hardly ever seen this guy before, but the only film he's been in before this was called Idle Hands, which that film I haven't seen though, but that film didn't do that well. And even that film stars Seth Green and Jessica Alba, but that film didn't do that well, you know. And also in the next is stars Ali Larter, who right there. She's been in films I know of. She was in the House on Haunted Hill remake, the 1999 remake, which I really do enjoy. That's another one of the good remakes, you know. I enjoy House on Haunted Hill, and she was also in that film Obsessed with Idris Elba and Beyonce. Knowles, you know, she was the woman who was obsessed with Idris Elba. And she's also been in the TV show Heroes, and there was other films that she was in. Because she appears in the sequel Final Destination 2. But there was another film that I saw her in. Let me just give a quick look. I just wanted to, she's sure. Yeah, all the films that she said, including the TV show Heroes. Oh yeah, that's right. She was also in Resident Evil. She was also in Resident Evil Extinction, the third film, then appeared in the fourth one, Afterlife, which I'm not a fan of those. I am not a fan of the Resident Evil films though, but she was also in those, the 3 and 4. But she started the first one and then appears in the sequel, Final Destination 2. And of course and Tony Todd, who plays as what's the guy's name? The morgue worker, Mr. Bloodworth. Now, although this tagline, I prefer the tagline that's on the poster. You know, you can't cheat death. You know, which is basically what it is. You know, you can't cheat death. It's to go. You know, stars with Alex Browning, played by Devon Sawa. You know. Him and his classmates, you know, they're going on a trip to Paris, you know, and before that he gets a premonition, you know. This is basically tells about the story, you know. He gets a premonition on flight 180. He gets a premonition that the plane is going to explode and everybody dies. And I thought that was a neat setup, you know, how the plane explodes, and his face is on fire, you know. And when the permission is over, he starts having a panic attack, telling everybody, get off the plane, you know. And then a few of his classmates follow him, you know, and they miss their plane. But as soon as the plane takes off, boom, plane blows up. And it's to say, no, we were really lucky, you know, and all that, you know. But soon after that, though, Alex's his other friends start dying one by one, you know, like which I thought was kind of a creative thing. You know how well, I'll get to the deaths in a second, but how while this is happening is they go to the morgue, and that's where they meet the worker played by Tony Todd. And Tony Todd, I thought did, even though he was only in that like that one. I think it was, if I recall, I think it was that was the only scene he's appeared in though. But he did really well enough because plus Tony Todd I also liked, you know. I really enjoyed Tony Todd. You know, how he basically explains, you know, how the rest of the movie is, which I thought was helpful, you know, and how what was the why all of this is happening. He said that he tells that this is all the work of death. You know, death is after them. You know, because you were supposed to die on that plane, but then you got off. You know, but now death is coming back to kill them. You know, but it basically tells him that, you know, how Tony Todd has that deep voice, you know, and how he delivers on that. He did really well explaining all that, you know. And he's like, what was the thing? How would you say? It's like, I'll see you soon. I think that's as soon as they were leaving, you know. And how the friends were they're dying. Like on one the first victim was the character Todd, like how he died. He was the first to die, and how he slips in the bathroom, and then he ends up getting tangled up in this thing for the shower, you know, and he ends up getting strangled to death. You know, can't stand himself up because the tub was too slippery, so he couldn't get up, and he ends up getting strangled to death. And they thought it was a suicide, you know. And I thought the character Death, you know, which had a much like elaborate ways to kill people, you know. It's basically like a supernatural force that's killing them, you know, because it's death, you know. Death is like a supernatural force playing in this, you know. It's not like a real person that's doing this. It's a supernatural force that's killing the victims, you know. So that's for the first victim. The kid got strangled in the bathroom, you know, and. Or then there was the one with the teacher's name, Mrs. Was it Luton? I think it was Mrs. Luton. Who's in her house, and like there was like this trail of alcohol that's spilling on the floor, and then all of a sudden the computer just explodes in her face, and gets her neck sliced here, you know, she's bleeding, you know, and the sparks ignite the trail of alcohol that's on the floor, you know, it's leading all the way up to the counter. And so it sets the stove on fire, it explodes next to an alcohol bottle, you know. And it's kind of like a domino effect, you know, it just leads to one next thing after another, you know. And then she's on the floor, she's like reaching toward this hand towel, but it's covering up a block of knives, you know, and one she grabs the towel, then one knife stabs her right here in the middle of the chest. And then Alex comes in, tries to save her, you know, but the stove explodes again. Then all of a sudden, a chair falls down and sticks the knife into her further, and then she dies like that. You know, it's like that's what I mean. It's like how it's like this death has all this cool series of events how to kill people. You know, especially especially stuff that would not kill. It's like the chair, you know, like also why would also the chair just falls down and just sticks a knife in that woman further, you know. It's what I mean. It's just a whole series of events, you know, and which I liked, you know. I thought it was a very well written script, you know, and continue on. Alex is telling rest of them that we were supposed to die on the plane, you know, but death is now after us. And another friend of when they're at the train tracks, and the guy I forget what the guy is I forget what the guy there was. Is it the let me quickly look it up. What is the character's name? I think his name is Billy. What those name is? Yeah, and actually, and really enough, actually, the character Billy is actually played by Seann William Scott. You know, Seann William Scott, who was the Rundown with Dwayne Johnson, and voices in um Ice Age 2 through 4. You know, and I like Seann William Scott in the Rundown. You know, with Dwayne Johnson, him with Dwayne Johnson together. You know, they were really good. You know, and I like Seann William Scott. And I just didn't notice it until now that was really him. I just didn't recognize him maybe because he was much more younger, you know. But really, if he was the one he standing next to the train tracks, you know, and it was I think with like one of the other friend of Alex, you know, I think he was supposed to die next, but I think we like intervened, you know. But really did enough because there was like this piece of metal that was on the train tracks, and the train is going by. He just flings a piece of metal and decapitates Seann William Scott. You know, from here up. You know, just decapitate that top of his head off. You know. And then the next one who was supposed to die was supposed to be Ali Larter. You know, who's trapped. She gets trapped in her car. And the car was going to explode. I think there was this cable that's blocking it, you know. And Alex, he goes and takes the cable off, and then the car explodes, and he starts flying back though. But he survived though, so he saved her. He saved her, you know. And they thought they thought it was all over, you know. And so and it skipped how was it That's why I have this here, in case I forget stuff, you know. Because when I forget, I start screwing up. That's why. If I do that, I apologize. And so he intervened, and he saved her, you know, and that was supposed to be that was all over. And sometime later, that the other guy was the guy named Carter. It was Alex, Claire, and Carter. You know, that was supposed to be it. They were the only three left, right? And sometime later, this big sign was headed towards Alex, and Carter he pushes him outside of avoiding it. You know, saves him though, but Alex tells him it was not meant for him. It was supposed to be. And Carter asks, who's next though? And then of course it shows the sign it was about to hit Carter, but then the screen cuts to black, you know. So yeah, so I enjoy Final Destination, you know, and I thought it was really well written, in a creative way, take on things instead of like how you supposed to be, how you top Death, you know, as being the main villain, you know, like how because it's a supernatural force, you can't get away with it, you know. And basically the saying, you can't cheat death, you know. You're basically pretty much screwed because, you know, it's just because death will follow you wherever you go and waiting for your chance to die, you know. So basically you're pretty much screwed because everywhere you go you get to be on the lookout to see what's gonna kill you, you know. So yeah, I thought how the way it was written, you know, and Devon Sawa, how his last name is pronounced, and Alikar, they were good, you know, the two leads, and Alikar appears then in the sequel though, but Devon Sawa doesn't, because in the sequel she tells the lead girl in the second film that he died already, so basically, like I said, death will kill you because you can't cheat death wherever you go, you know. So, Tony Todd was good, you know. He especially explaining about death, you know. This film was on for 98 minutes, but it goes at a fast pace, you know. Everything, you know, like how from the plane exploding, you know, the premonition, which I really did enjoy. Even the film has a 6.8 on IMDb, even though it has a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, oh well. But I do enjoy the first one. I'm just reviewing the first one for now, but I'll get to the sequels later, though. I just want to feel like reviewing the first film for now, so yeah. So that's my review for Final Destination. Thanks for watching, take care, and stay tuned for the next movie review. Later.